Cameron has been waiting for a bit, so we'll just go to Cameron and then we'll come back to it. Cameron, good morning.
Good morning, Jim.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Just heard you mentioning the article regarding raising the 7-year-old autistic boy.
Yep.
You've got me searching through my Facebook page now because I'm pretty sure I posted that very same article. Yeah, there was a fascinating read from memory. Yeah. So
did you find it on the News Hub site, do you think?
I believe I did. I'll have to go do a search in a handful of minutes, but from memory, it was a very fascinating and insightful read. So
yeah, and it was just taken from the perspective of a parent, not of an expert. This is just the dealings. It's very challenging but rewarding, he said.
Yeah. No, I'd if anybody hasn't seen that article yet, I'd very much encourage them to search it out and have a good read of it.
Yeah, I think if you were on the News Hub website and just typed in Mark Longley as Longley, it will probably pop up, I would think.
I'd say so. We're quite fortunate these days with the modern technology, the way it is. You just have to enter a couple of keywords, and next thing you know, you've got it at your fingertips.
Yeah.
I
read it with interest, and I think it was maybe not last week, the week before, perhaps. But who knows how long it's been up there either. That's the other thing. I'm not sure.
Well, I'll soon search it up, and I'll be able to let you know. But anyhow, I've been doing a couple of things overnight. I've been in my armchair watching the Olympics and all the rest of it. And I've also had Run Air on you, courtesy of my cell phone. Modern technology, it's marvellous.
Isn't it marvellous?
This device I've got in my hand right now, I can turn into a video camera. It's a radio station. I can remember when my phone was simply for phone calls before you could text on your cell phone. These days, you've got more technology in your hand than spaceships going into space used to have.
Yes, I remember that comparison being made. The average smartphone had more computing power than the shuttle, than the space shuttles.
It's just
incredible.
Well, it is, yeah. But anyhow, back to the Olympics and listening to you. So I've been intently watching the Olympics. I thought, I'll just have a quick squiz and then I'll disappear to bed and tune into you. But no, as per, we watched the ceremony from start to finish. Whilst having Run Air on the phone, so I've heard a bit of the commentary this morning. I've heard a few people call and text in saying that they've seen one or two teams, apparently not with any masks. Well, that possibly could have been whilst I was in the kitchen sorting out the tea and the cheese rolls and all the rest of it. But everybody that I saw certainly was masked up.
Yeah, same. I missed the ones that weren't. Apparently there were two countries, and they came, I would imagine, I think, from the former Soviet Union. They had that kind of name to them from memory.
Okay.
But the rest of them, absolutely to a man, to a woman, to an athlete, all of them, apart from those two countries, everyone was all masked.
Yeah, absolutely. They have been that I've seen. I heard a bit of a commentary about, let me see, what's his name, Toa as well. I was listening intently about that. That was one of those situations where you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't kind of thing. It's been a tough run. But if I was wearing a hat at this time of the morning, I'd certainly be taking it off to everybody that came on board to help him during his plight. It's just sad the way it's ended.
Mm. Yes, it is, and it did. When the news came through last night that the orca had died, there was a kind of a moment. You think, we hoped that it was going to work, but really we're hoping that it was going to work.
Of course. It's like, do you need to keep him in captivity, as it were, for so long? Could you not have just tried to to let him out and see how he fended for himself. But everybody's going to dissect the situation from every angle, and so never mind.
Well, it's probably worth that doctor a bit of a post-mortem on what they did, what went right, what went wrong.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, and it won't be just one or two. There'll be several reports out on it, and everybody will have to put their couple of cents worth in. But anyhow.
And just before you go, Cameron, why were you interested in the story, the opinion piece on autism that Mark Longley wrote?
Oh, well, I keep a close eye on the news from a number of sources.
Yeah, but why autism? Does it have a special connection to you?
Well, I have known over the years a few people with autism, but I haven't followed it overly closely. But when I read that article, it was, of the articles that I have read over recent years, that one, I can't put my finger on the pulse, but that one really did stand out. It was one of the better articles that I have seen.
Yeah, it was written, as I say, not as an expert on autism, just as the father of a much-loved 7-year-old boy.
Yes, and I think that's put the nail into the fence quite nicely, because all too often you have in university papers written by experts and all of academia, but when you have something like that written at ground level from an everyday parent, and that article really did, it was one of those articles that it just stood out because it was written from a parent, as you say, not from a high-level expert in academia.
Good on you, Cameron. Cheers, matey. Thanks for the call.